Neuroticism is a personality trait that describes a person's tendency to experience negative emotions like anxiety, sadness, and irritability more intensely and frequently than others. It is one of the big five personality traits, which are widely used to describe human personality. People high in neuroticism are often more sensitive to stress and may find it harder to cope with challenging situations. This trait is not inherently bad, as it can lead to greater self-awareness and a deeper understanding of emotional experiences, but it is often associated with emotional instability and heightened vulnerability to mental health struggles. Neuroticism became a recognized part of personality psychology through the development of the Big Five personality framework, which emerged in the mid-20th century. Researchers used statistical techniques like factor analysis to identify 5 broad dimensions that describe human personality. Neuroticism stood out as a distinct trait, encompassing emotional instability and a greater tendency towards psychological distress. The term itself has roots in earlier psychological theories, but it became more refined and less associated with pathology as the Big Five gained popularity. This shift allowed psychologists to study neuroticism as a normal part of human diversity rather than as a sign of mental illness. Neuroticism manifests in several key ways that can influence a person's thoughts, emotions, and behaviours. One characteristic is emotional reactivity, where individuals respond strongly to stressors, often feeling overwhelmed or unable to focus. Another is mood instability, meaning that their emotions may shift frequently, leading to periods of sadness, frustration, or anger. People high in neuroticism may also experience heightened self-doubt and insecurity, often questioning their abilities or worrying about how others perceive them. Additionally, they tend to dwell on past events or anticipate negative outcomes, making it difficult for them to move forward with confidence. Now let's look at some examples of neuroticism in everyday life. A student preparing for an important exam might exhibit neuroticism by feeling deeply anxious about failing, even if they have studied thoroughly. They might lose sleep or second-guess their answers during the test. Another example is a person who overanalyzes a disagreement with a friend, replaying the conversation in their mind and fearing they have damaged the relationship, even if the issue was minor. Finally, someone with high neuroticism might struggle with decision-making because they focus on worst-case scenarios, like imagining all the ways a choice could go wrong. Now let's look at some strengths of neuroticism. While neuroticism is often seen in a negative light, it can have surprising advantages. One strength is that it promotes self-awareness. People high in neuroticism are more likely to reflect on their emotions and behaviours, which can help them identify areas for personal growth. Another strength is heightened empathy. Because they are so in tune with their own emotions, they may be better able to understand and relate to the feelings of others. Lastly, neuroticism can drive caution and preparedness. These individuals are often motivated to plan ahead and consider potential risks, which can lead to well-thought-out decisions and actions. However, neuroticism is not without its weaknesses. One common weakness is difficulty coping with stress. People with high neuroticism may feel overwhelmed by challenges that others find manageable, which can interfere with their ability to function effectively in daily life. Another weakness is a tendency toward pessimism. They often focus on negative outcomes or assume the worst in situations, which can limit their optimism and willingness to take risks. Finally, neuroticism can strain relationships. Frequent expressions of worry or frustration may lead to misunderstandings or conflict with others, as their emotional intensity can be challenging for loved ones to navigate.